Here we are. So, all right. So you've got U13L1. Okay. You may want at this point create a folder called U13L1CW. Okay. So just copy this. Go into your folder structure, please, as we've been doing all year. And okay. So right here. So somewhere here, right-click, new folder. Okay. It is now 8:47. I'll give you till 8:50 to kind of figure this out. But in the meantime, let me show you what you're going to do. Now, this is a life skill. This is not a graphics thing. This is also involved in papers and documents, things you're going to be dealing with. You're going to be setting font size. You're going to be setting, you have to know what kerning is. You have to know what vertical scale is. You have to know what leading is. It's spelled leading, but it's actually leading. Tracking, okay, what is that? That is horizontal scale. So all this stuff, you're going to figure it out, okay? And let me think. So if I could go to another browser, I'll kind of show you what it's all about. Okay, if I have it. This is my beta platform where you notice it's called Mr. Hayes class, and this is where I kind of do things beforehand. This is years and years of work. So let's see if I can do this, if I can show you. Don't think I have anything here. So we set font size. Nope. There is a video that I kind of wanted you to watch, but here is what is. So, okay, so forgive me. This is the alma mater of Gladstone High School. Okay. It was a really pretty alma mater. And believe it or not, 4 years ago, we were required to sing this after the Pledge of Allegiance every Friday. They had us stand up and we sang and then we clapped and all that stuff. It was very, very cool, but yeah, only like maybe a few people did it. Anyway, so you notice this is the font size. You look at the font size, okay, compared to everything else. And this is what you're going to do. You're going to paste the literature that you just copied, and you're going to paste it here. And then kerning between two characters is this right here. There's a distance, okay, between the E and the H. All right. Vertical scale is when you stretch it. You like take the words and you stretch it vertically. And then leading is the distance, I think, like between characters of a single word. Whereas, okay, that's sometimes confused with kerning. That's, excuse me, the distance between two words, but leading is the distance between letters in a single word, most high, okay? All right. Tracking is the distance between, I believe, I forget what tracking is. So anyway, we'll figure it out. And horizontal scale, of course, is stretching across a little bit. So like this right here through the years. Anyway, so what I'd like for you to do is just, we'll refer to this. All right, so if you haven't done so already, what I'd like you to do, okay, even though it's a lot of words here, so you've got 2,000 pixels to play with. All right, so click on the text tool and just click. And you'll see where it says lorem ipsum. Okay, lorem ipsum. And what you're going to do, now a lot of you do this, okay? A lot of you do this. So this is, but it's important to kind of click first so you can see what font you have and the color and all that fun stuff. So if you have something large, you may want to go up here and kind of shrink it a little bit. You see how I'm shrinking it? I just kind of drag to the left, drag to the right. I'm going to drag it. I'll make mine about 60. That's good enough right there. All right. And that would be good enough. And so there's a couple of ways that you can paste. First of all, click on the marquee tool. That always makes everything back in the normal mode. In other words, nothing is being highlighted. And so what I do now is I kind of take the lorem ipsum and I delete it, okay? Because I know now the size of the font. I know the color of the font, so I'm just going to go ahead and delete it if I can find, there you go, delete layer. All right, and now what I can do is this. I can go ahead and click on the type tool down here, and go up here. Watch first, and then I kind of create a text box. See there? And you notice that it kind of fills it with some weirdness, but I'm going to paste my text there. There it is. Here's to the crazy ones, the misfits, blah, 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 blah. Okay? All right. So what I'd like for you to do, okay, is sort of kind of make sure that after every period, it goes to the next line over. Okay? So in other words, whenever you see a period, put the next line over. In other words, return. Press return. Okay? About the only thing you can do is ignore them. Okay. Okay, here we are. And you may want to add a second space between the header, which is here's to the crazy ones, and then all that, okay? And there we go. Okay, so you got a bounded box. You got a borderline box that defines where the text will appear, okay? I have it as marker felt. I'm sure you probably have something completely different, okay? And now, let me introduce you. Okay, so is everybody good? Okay, Terry, you didn't create the box. That's why it's stretching all the way across. So I would undo it, create the box, and then, okay, so you too, you didn't create the box. That's okay. You're good. Now paste. And then after every period, all right, looking over everybody's shoulder. We're getting there, I guess. Okay. Anybody need my help? Okay, looks good. Okay, what's up? She always has the rules. So here's some there. There we go. So we just remove this. Just remove this. Okay. Now go ahead and click. Now go ahead and stretch, create a box. Okay. Okay. Now paste. There you go. Okay. After every period. Okay. Return. All right. All right. Cool. Good job. So now, first thing is I want to introduce you to is this right here. So everybody go to Window. Okay. Well, actually, I'm sorry. Before we go to Window, I'm so sorry. Right here. You see this little icon right here? Okay. So if you have it on the text mode, you see this right here. This is called a character. I was going to send you to Window and then character, but here it is right here. And you may want to add that to your next to your history. Okay? So there it is right there. Okay? So you see I got character right there. I'm going to go ahead and bring it out just so it's right there. Okay? But I'm going to put it back in there. It's one of the things you want to have. And also down here you have paragraph. We'll deal with this a little bit later. But if you see paragraph, you can X out, but I'm just saying that all this stuff right here, right align, left align, you know, you can kind of like wherever the cursor is. Like say, for instance, I have the whole thing highlighted. And right here, this is sort of like an indent, okay? Left margin, so I can like move it out a little bit. Okay, so it's not doing it. But if you notice how you can kind of move and all this stuff, so that's not important right now. Okay, so if you want to, so we're just not going to worry about that. Okay, excuse me. And also what I'd like you to do is, well, let's just go ahead and do this. Now you notice right here under character, you have all the information on your, okay? So you have all the information here about your text, okay? So the first one I think I asked for was font size, Okay, set font size. So let's go ahead and, of course, whenever you have a header, that should be bigger than everything else. So if you highlight here's to the crazy ones, okay, first of all, let's go and see what we can do with. Here's to the crazy ones. And then how do we increase the font size? Well, this is at 60 right here, okay? And what I'm going to do, now unfortunately I can't really see much, but I'm going to go ahead and increase it a little bit. Notice how I'm dragging to the right. I'm going to go up to maybe 90. Okay, there it is. Okay, here's to the crazy ones. Excuse me. Terry, make sure that after every period you press return, so it's not bunched up there. Okay. Okay. All right. So, all right. Anybody else need me to kind of show them how to do this? Okay. What's up? Put a window character. Anybody else need me to look over that shoulder? Okay. All right. And now, let's change the color, okay? You notice right here, there's color right here. So if you click on it, you can change it to a different color. You guys know how to work that. And then while we have that highlighted, always have it highlighted, okay? That's what you're going to change. Okay, so kept that highlighted. Now let's go ahead and play with these guys right here. All these guys, okay? Well, actually not all of them, but notice this one right here is the bold. It bolds your, so if you click on it, it gets bigger, a little bit bigger. See that how you click on it, it get bigger? Then you can italicize with the next one. Now this one right here, the double T, means all the letters on that is going to be capitalized. So if you click there, here's to the crazy ones, okay? Notice all of them are now capitalized. But if you go to the next one, the first word of it, the first letter of every word is going to be capitalized. Everything else is going to be lowercase. Click, there it is, see? Okay, now you can individually do this. You can go ahead, highlight two. It doesn't work. Okay, so here's to the crazy, anyways, whatever. Don't worry about this. This is superscript, subscript. But if you click on this, you can actually strike through if you like, but let's not do that. And then underline. You may want to do the underline. Okay, so there it is right there. Okay, so here's to the crazy ones. Not a big fan of this guy right here. I would much rather type in here's to the crazy ones. And every letter should be capitalized, okay? So what I did was I highlighted the word to, or actually the T, and press the double T right here. See that right there? And then that will capitalize that. See that? And then same thing with this one. Here's to the crazy ones, okay? And every year I do a video called Here's to the Crazy Ones. This year will be no exception. Okay? All right. Now, let's go ahead and do this. So we sent font size, okay? And again, if you want to change the font size of everything else here, why don't we do this sporadically? And I'm going to give you about 2 minutes to do so. It's 9:01. Okay. Highlight different words and increase the size and give it a different color. Okay, so something like this. The troublemakers. Troublemakers should be a different color. Give it a nice little, let's see, red. Troublemakers are always red. Round pegs. How about pegs? Okay, and keep in mind you have limited space here. Okay. Some of these you may want to, like the word square, notice how I kind of, okay, they're not fond of rules. Sounds like Azusa students. And here's the thing. You can use different fonts. Who's to say you have to be consistent? Use different fonts. See that? They're not fond of rules. There we go. Yeah, there we go. And now the word troublemaker. I may want to use a different font. See what he can do. Okay? You can't ignore them. Okay? So let's go ahead and click this one as orange. Okay? Choose a different... and by the way, well, we'll do that later. I was going to say we can put styles. Some see them as the crazy ones, okay? So make sure that gets up. Okay, give it a different font. And let's give this one a different color. Okay. Okay. And this one, like some words, you may want to have all caps, like especially the ones who do. You know, I'm going to put that in all caps because I want to emphasize that. Okay, and then you may want to, like, kind of, well, let's see if there's some crazy. And try not to use these silly little fonts here, these little emoji fonts. Because they do nothing. Okay. So if you got okay, well if you got a few here, thin, then there. You can always choose thin and sand right here. Don't forget you got up here on this, you got thin and wide, whatever that does. All right, and okay. So now it looks a little bit more subtle, right? So I went from here all the way down to here. Actually, from here all the way down to here. See? Okay, it looks pretty darn cool, I think. So if you've done that, awesome. Now let's go ahead and look at what is called kerning between two characters, okay? So why don't we go ahead and the one where it says the ones who do, and kerning, I believe, now if you move the cursor over, okay, it'll tell you. This one says track, okay? This one says horizontal scale, okay? This one is kerning right here. So it's the one where it says V / and I'm not sure what this is all about, but let's go ahead and highlight the ones who do. Let's see what happens. Nothing. Okay. I think it's between two words. Let's see. Nope, doesn't look like. Oh, here we go. Nope, that's not doing anything. If it's not doing anything, then don't worry about it. But I'm trying to. Doesn't look like much is happening. There it goes. Okay, so put the text between two letters, and if you notice right here, it kind of goes out a little bit, okay? So it's got to be between two letters, okay? So the word differently, so you may want to separate the word differently, and then I'm going to go ahead and give this into a different kind of font. I don't like that one, so I'm going to go to Okay, cool. And the one thing you notice that whatever font I chosen here, if I highlight it, this is called Baloo. I don't know what that is, but if you notice, I have maybe different options over here. Okay, but if I chose something else, like say this one, I get plain, and that's it. That's all I get. But Baloo, okay, I got all these different options here. So something to think about. Let me go ahead and give it a nice. You would think that I would have all these options of colors. There we go. Okay. All right. So, and here you can put like, what if you put dot, 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 okay? So you can do that differently, okay? And the word differently should be capitalized. All right, so that kind of gives a little space between two. So that is kerning, okay? Oops. Next one is vertical scale, okay? That means we take some letters and we stretch it, okay? Okay, so let's do crazy one. Crazy one, and then let's do vertical scale, which I believe is this one right here. Look at that. Okay. All right. Give you another minute to kind of play around with these things. I see some of you guys are still working a couple of steps behind. Okay. Okay, I don't know where I left off there. Okay, so what I did was all this, okay? So I added a background layer style. You can also put a drop shadow and see what it looks like, okay? Kind of looks cool, actually. Kind of has that fuzzy little feeling. There we go. Okay. All right. Screen capture and put it on today's thing. Ignore the slide, or if you want, maybe if it's easier for you. Actually, you know what? No. Don't put it in the slide. Just put it as a separate attachment. And if you need my help with it, please go ahead and submit it. Okay?